How you feeling going into Thursday?
How am I feeling going into Thursday? You know, the same way you would feel when you're getting ready to play any good team on the road. You know, obviously they're really good. You know, they won a national championship and they get a great crowd down there. You know, people are passionate about their team. You know, and they're tough. They're physically tough, and they're better. You know, they're better than probably most teams simply because they have, you know, one great player, and you know, and they got a really good guard. So I think you have to make sure that you're well prepared and that, you know, you're going to be in for a battle, because that's exactly what it's going to be.
How encouraged were you by the way Gabby and Nafisa handled their inside game last year in Asia?
Yeah, you know, in watching that game, Gabby was absolutely, I mean, she was magnificent the entire game, and as was Fisa. You know, I don't know that we played a great game. I don't know that we played a above average game last year. You know, we struggled in some spots, but I thought obviously the crowd helped us a little bit, and you know, and we did what we normally do. You know, we play pretty good defense, and we executed on offense, and that, you know, we're going to have our hands full on Thursday, because we're not at home, and it's a different year and it's a different team.
How are you health-wise going into this one? I know everyone's nicked up this time
Yeah,
of year.
yeah. I mean, everybody's got a little bit of something. We're trying to just manage everybody. You know, this month of February, it's not easy. You know, we're trying to limit, you know, Crystal practice about 15, 20 minutes, maybe half an hour today. You know, Gabby went a little bit in the beginning, Lou went a little bit in the beginning, but we're trying to, again, we're trying to limit, and that's the best we can do. You know, that's not going away. That's something we're going to have to manage the rest of the season.
Geno, what do you remember about the environment down there? You mentioned it. How well equipped is this team to be kind of undaunted by that, given where you've been this year and all the places you've played in?
Well, if I remember correctly, last time we went down there, we had a completely different team, you know. So it's not remotely the same team that we're bringing down there, but heck, one of the toughest things we faced was actually getting to the arena. You know, it was so crowded, and there were so many people in line, and it was loud, and it was boisterous, and the fans are, you know, as I said earlier, they're passionate. The environment's unbelievable. And I remember, you know, Stewie being Stewie, and Mariah and Tuck being Mariah and Tuck. And if you told me those three were going to meet us down here and play in the game, I'd feel a lot better. So we'll see whether or not this team is equipped to handle that.
Where has Asia made the most strides since your freshman year, would you say?
I think the things that she does around the basket, she finishes a lot better. I think she's shooting the ball with a little more confidence from the perimeter, you know. I think sometimes she may have to do a lot more than maybe she had to do in the past, you know, when they had a lot of other experienced players. But they shoot the ball a little better than people think. You know, people think that, you know, they're a one-dimensional team, and they're not. It's funny, when Asia's not in the game, those other guys, they play, and they make shots, and they get after it. So they're certainly not just a, you know, one-dimensional team, for sure.
What about Harris last year? she seemed reluctant to let her shoot the ball. And this year, it's a totally different situation. Kind of like,
Yeah.
you know, she's
She's kind of like Crystal. Yeah, same thing. You know, when you get a little bit older and you get a little more confidence, that's what happens. You know, you become a little more confident. Coaches become a little more confident in you, and you know, yeah, she's got a much bigger role this year than last season, and there are a lot of similarities between her and Crystal for sure.
What have you seen from Azure?
Azure, you know, we were just talking about that. That the things that she does in some games on the offensive end, you know, are just hard to duplicate. There's not a lot of players that can score from as many different places on the court as she can. And she's one of these kids that's actually better on the move than she is, you know, standing still, which is unusual for somebody that size. So we're trying to take advantage of that, and trying to get her defensively, and you know, I'd like to see her block some more shots, you know, be more active around the basket. So hopefully that'll, or at least change some shots, even if she doesn't block them. I think that's going to come in really handy as we move along here, you know, this month and next month for sure.
How does winning a national championship change the program?
How does it change a program? I think it changes the expectations that people in the program have for themselves. I think leading up to winning a championship, you're never quite sure whether you can or not. And then once you do, then the expectation level is to build on that. And the only way you can build on that is you have to win another one. Sometimes that comes right away, sometimes that takes a while. But once you've done it and you know how to do it, you know, I think the culture inside the program is changed. Is it changed forever? No, but it's changed, and it'll be interesting to see where it goes from here.
So what makes, you know, a lot of teams have risen up to a point where they're challengers for the championship. They've actually won that championship. Mm-hmm. Is there something about either Dawn or South Carolina that you saw, you know, leading up to last year that you said, like, hey, these guys, you know, you're always looking for, you know, you're always looking for Frazier for the hour.
Yeah.
You know, is there something in this program, in their program, that you saw?
I think that it always comes down to the ability to get pretty good players, you know, and they were able to do that, you know, getting Asia Wilson and getting Elena Coates and getting a couple guards that really helped them. But I think when they added the two kids that transferred in, I think that put them over the top, because those two kids had great years last year for them, and you know, they were the perfect addition to their team. And you know, when you get a great fan base like that, and you're in an area of the country that produces pretty good players, you know, on a regular basis, you know, you can see, you know, why they were able to get to where they are, you know. It'll be, as I said, it'll be interesting what's next for them.
I was going to say it was 5 years between your championship one and championship two. I mean,
that's right. That's right.
Yeah, there were a lot of expectations during
that point. From '95 to 2000, we had, matter of fact, the '96 team that we had here was way better than that. I should say the '96 team was really good, but the '97 team was way better than the team that won the national championship. And maybe the '98 team was as well. But you got to be really good, and you have to have a little bit of luck and stay injury-free, and there's a lot that goes into it, you know. And I think it's a little bit more difficult now in the sense that there's a lot more teams that are capable of going on those kinds of runs like South Carolina's been on the last couple of years. You know, Mississippi State being a perfect example of that. You know, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see where all that takes them. I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, they're back in the Final Four this year, and you know, I think after Asia graduates, that'll be a big test for them as well. But you know, if you're a program at that level, you have to deal with that.